I'm William Jones. I'm from Wales in the UK. I tattoo out of Nebula Tattoo in Buryport.
I'm Markus Lenhard. I'm from Germany. I'm tattooing out of Berlin for the last 12 years.
And I'm Jeff Gogue from Grants Pass, Oregon, off the map northwest. I'm super grateful to be working with William and Markus on this project.
I got tattooed by Markus in 2012, and I think I run the idea past him about getting tattooed as a collaboration with Jeff.
At some point he was like, you know what my dream is? Would be to get like a really big full-on back piece by you and Jeff.
The idea of collaborating is really important to me because every single tattoo you ever do is a collaboration between the artist and the client. So then to collaborate with another artist on a client, it just adds another layer.
Yeah, I had a couple of ideas, just kind of give them the ingredients of what to work with and just giving them full control. I don't really want to try to micromanage the tattoo in any way because I knew my input would probably take away from their input and obviously their process of how they want to do it.
Jeff and I don't share the same subject matter. That was a little new to me, so I was like, let's see how this goes. I didn't really know how this is going to work out. Jeff has a very, very different approach to how he tattoos and how he, how he builds up towards a tattoo. His whole design process is very, very different from mine. My design process is mostly digital. I like to have a lot of preparation. I like to take a lot of time to come up with a design and then commit it very quickly.
I improvise almost everything, so I think of myself as an improv artist. You know, I try to collect all of my experience from my whole life into the moment that I express it. So to me, I'm not preparing by doing a lot of drawings and things like that. My preparation is my whole life, and then I just put it into action in that moment.
This was very different. We kind of had to find the flow with each other, and we kind of puzzled it together a little bit, but it was really exciting, because we seemed to bounce off of each other really, really well. And I had a couple of ideas, and he had a couple of ideas, and it was really exciting to hear his ideas, stuff that I would never come up with easily, and vice versa, hopefully.
Markus has been a huge inspiration to me ever since I heard of him, which is before I met him. Seeing his work, I knew right off the bat that it was just extraordinary. So to work with someone that is extraordinary, of course, sounds pretty good.
We had a lot of fun putting this whole thing together. The first day we did, I think the first day we were mostly concerned with background stuff and overall concept, what we wanted to do, getting a couple of keystone ideas in there that were very important to us, and kind of try to find a way to work it out together. And then on the second day, all that was established, and we had a good system, and now we got a lot more done, and we have a pretty good base, a pretty good foundation to work off of.
I tried to not even see as much of what they were doing, so I could kind of just see the end result. Afterwards, I have full trust in both of them. But yeah, it's completely different to any other tattoo I've had for those reasons. I mean, the pain is something on a different level. They're both super gentle as you can be, but there's some spots which have been just next level.
I'm gentle in all my movement, so I try not to let anything be harsh. I just try to make every movement fluid and aware, and then also empathetic,
The first time they were both tattooing at the same time was just something else. Jeff was working on the stitch of my knee, which is pretty intense on its own. And Markus started near my armpit, like next to my ribs, and that was kind of horrible. I don't know, it's really sharp and hot. So like a sharp, hot poker maybe. That's the only thing I can kind of think if you kind of relate it to anything. So yeah, them two combined is something else.
William is a warrior because it is not easy to get tattooed. It's not easy to get tattooed for a long time. It's not easy to get tattooed multiple days in a row, which I've done, and to watch him do it, and then just the constant waves that he had to go through of waiting and then getting tattooed and being in that mind, and then not being tattooed for hours and then getting tattooed again in the same spot. And that big of an area, all of it was really hard to actually witness, because I can only imagine how tough it was, those different waves, and how tired you get. But I also believe that, you know, that pushes you into a new place. So I envy him too.
There was one thing Markus did where like he was drawing on my back, and then he just said, right, I'm going to tattoo up here. And just that little thing kind of preparing me for where the pain was going to be really helped. And I know it seems insignificant, but it kind of worked. And I think just them small little things, there's kind of a lot of little touches which helped, you know. So hopefully I can kind of introduce that to my work, help put my customers at ease a bit more.
Collaborating is a surrender of control to someone else. So I approach it with the idea that I will only contribute to this, and I'm not going to take anything away or undo anything. So I give what I can, and then if that gets covered up, that's fine on my end. But I don't look to cover up someone else's intentions. So I give conceptually to something, and if someone else can add to it, so it's always an adding. I never take away, or I try to not take away.
My favorite part about collaborating in general is probably, you know, seeing what can happen when somebody else, you know, can play with what I do, and being able to do the opposite, being able to actually steal from somebody that I really, really want to steal from for a long time and never really allowed myself. In that piece I can, and likewise, and to see how he understands my language and what I can do with his language in the same piece. When that collides, what happens there is, you know, you don't know what's going to happen. And the big surprise, that's what I'm doing it for. The big surprise in the end, when you actually see what you've done together, that's something that you just can't do by yourself.
To me, this experience has been inspirational and educational. I've kind of learned a lot from them both. I kind of chose them to tattoo me because they're the kind of people I want to influence me within my own work and even my personality. They're both incredibly talented and really humble. So hopefully if I can work towards that, I'll be happy.